us over to the next slide?
There we go.
Awesome. And then, so just one last housekeeping item. Today's webinar and Q&A section is for educational purposes only. Final rates and/or products should and services and offer requirements should be confirmed with a credit union representative at the time of service. All right, now that we got all the boring things out of the way, I'm excited to introduce today's presenter, Ricardo Gonzalez. Ricardo has been with the credit union for 6 years, all of them in the mortgage department. He's a big fan of travel, especially to destinations near the water. And here's a fun fact. Whenever he's traveling, he makes a point to check out all the major sports complexes in the area. Ricardo, I'll circle back with you later for questions, but for now, the floor is all yours.
Well, thank you for letting me fly at this time. So I'm going to be flying solo. Now I'll bother you and basically Sarah to come in once in a while. So basically what we're going to cover is just overall, I'm going to give you an overall perspective of what is the intent, what the credit union is going to do for you, right? So what's happening in today's market, understanding the players who we're going to discuss in more detail, understanding the home buying process, the benefit of you as a member of the credit union, what benefits you get, and then are you ready to prepare to purchase a property, and what resources and what key factors that you will have to make that experience more, it's a pleasure for you to buy a house instead of being a hassle to buy a property, okay? Back to you.
Yeah, I got it here for the first polling question. We're just a reminder, these polling questions are to get a pulse of the room to see where all of our attendees at. So we just want to know, when are you looking to buy a house within the time frame? A, 3 months, B, 3 to 6 months, C, 6 months to a year, or D, not sure yet. I'm just researching now. And if you're tuning in on a mobile device, you may need to swipe left or right on your screen to see the questions and the answers. So Sarah, I'm going to pick on you because we were talking about this earlier this week. When are you looking to buy a house within?
Ideally, I think I would be in the C category, 6 months to a year. If I had the money, I would definitely be in that category. But today, I'm just researching. I'm just tuning in, getting that info. What about you, Sutton?
I think I'm in the same spot, just tuning in and getting some info. I just actually signed a lease on an apartment, so I will not be buying a house anytime soon. So yeah, it looks like some of our attendees are answering, but let's go ahead and close that out.
Alrighty. It looks like we had a 50-50 split with our attendees. 50% said 6 months to a year, and the other 50% said not sure yet, just researching now. So
awesome,
Ricardo,
awesome.
That gives you a little bit of insight on our attendees today.
Absolutely, it gives us an understanding where we are in the buying process, and I think gives them the opportunity to see what's out there, and then at the same time how the credit union is going to be able to help you. Okay. What's happening in today's market? Basically, what we're working on is what is the inventory, right? Sometimes it's called a buyer's market, and sometimes it's called a seller's market, and we will go into more detail about that. What is the average listing price? They're stabilizing, or depending on the market. Are you buying at the East Coast? Are you buying at the West Coast? You need to understand that the credit union provides loans for all 50 states. So we're well aware of what the market dictates, and we're going to try to help you as much as the financing that goes with that. The interest rate, what we have, right? As of basically March 17, the credit union has kept the same rates, and we can go into more detail. And there's been some other markets where we have to change the rates every so often, depending on what the market was dictating. So for you, Sarah and Sutton, I feel that it is the right house. It's time to purchase a house. So I'm just gonna throw that back to you, okay? Now let's see understanding the roles and understanding who is involved in this, right? So I'm only gonna be in the perspective way of what the credit union is gonna be able to do for you, okay? The lending, okay? The underwriter, the realtor, the inspector, the appraiser, title and escrow agents, insurance agent, and loan servicer. So the lender, you have a lot of selections to pick up your financial institution, but we do want for you to consider the credit union to be your primary source as far as being your lending institution. One of the things that you need to understand in the credit union as a lender, when we receive your application process and we receive your documentations, we do an automatic send it to underwriting review. So right there and there, you know what's going to be your buying power. Okay, we don't do a pre-qualifications, we do pre-approval. So that's one of the things that we're going to be able to help you with, is that you will have that letter of pre-approval when you're ready to buy the purchase of that property. Realtors, you can select any other realtors. We do have a realtor that is called uh, Members on the Move, and it's a wonderful tool for you. If you don't have a realtor, they're going to be able to work with you. It's something that we have partnered up with realtors in different regions in the United States. Consider using realtors in the move, and they're probably going to be able to give you an incentive by using their services. But that's something that you need to deal with them directly. And it's called Realtors on the Move. As far as the inspectors, let's say you're buying the property now, we do recommend to get the house inspected. It's not required by the credit union, but we do really recommend it. The reason that we recommend it is because you do have an option to opt out on the purchase of the property. So if you get the house inspected and it's not to your par or your expectations, that's the time to walk away, right? And that's one of the things that we want for you to consider, is to get that house inspected. So again, we don't require it, but it's something that is recommended for you. Now, the credit union will get that property appraised. The property appraised is based on what the value of the market itself, and that's what's going to be in more detail. And then the loan officers will go in more detail about explaining the appraiser and how it's value, how is determined as the value of the property and so forth. So they're going to be able to assist you. Now we go to kind of the final steps that you have here, and that will be the title or the escrow agent. Normally 95% of the time the seller are the ones that select that. So the title and escrow they have their own fees. The credit union has closing costs, but the title company, to get it recorded, to do their deeds, to do the research and so forth, they have their own fees. And the majority of the time the seller is the one that is selecting that. In few cases, I have seen when they have said, you as the buyer, pick your own title institution, and we'd be glad to help you with that, because we have partnered up with other title and escrow companies to help us with, especially in the refinancing process. The insurance agent, once you have completed a contract, this is the time for you to stop and think about who's going to be your insurance carrier for your home. So you start shopping around for the insurance carrier, because you know how you have the address now. So you know basically what's going to be the average price of that property. So this is the best time to start shopping around and not wait to the last minute, because that might delay your process of getting closing on time. So we do recommend to do that for you. The loan servicer, one of the benefits that you have with the credit union, again, is that we service 100% of the loans. That means you don't go with anybody else 3 months from now, 4 months from now. The service is still going to be provided with the credit union. That will be with American Airlines Federal Credit Union. And other institutions, they might sell the loan to another one. So before you know it, someone else is going to service that loan for you. I can only speak on behalf of the credit union since I'm giving you that presentation, but I can guarantee you one thing, and I can say guarantee, the credit union will service your loan. So that's one of the things that you may consider when moving forward. Okay, I'll pass it back to Sutton on this one.
Yes, so for our second polling question, just some fun trivia. We want to know, true or false, is it a good idea to start looking at houses first before starting the loan process? I like to look at Zillow all the time, even though I'm not actually looking at houses. So I'm kind of always looking. Sarah, what about you?
I have to agree with that. There's sometimes I'll be bored on my phone and I'll just look at houses in the area. But I feel like this is kind of a trick question though. Personally, I think I would say true, but we'll see what Ricardo has to say.
Yeah, Ricardo, what do you have to say about that?
Sarah, let's see if we can get you going on this one. Not exactly, Sarah. We're talking about here is going to be false. And the reason being false here with the credit union is you want to know what is your buying power, right? So if you start looking for a $600,000, $800,000 property, but your buying power is only $450,000, you're basically putting yourself out of the market, and the frustration that you get excited about buying that house. So it is recommended for you to get that pre-approval through the credit union, and you know exactly when you get to with the realtors or the members on the move to start looking for that house that you have been approved.
Good to know. Good to know. And it looks like, according to our Slido results, 75% of us said true, and then 25% of the audience said false. So thank you for that info.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, what are the steps that we're going to discuss right now? So here's the steps that we're going to take in consideration. And let's see here, let me see if you can get that. One of the things that we're going to be looking for here will be to get pre-approved, as we discussed before you buy in the house. Decide on the type of loan that you have. I will go in more detail of far the loans that the credit union specializes in, finding the right home, and then closing on your home. Okay, so let's go and start reviewing the pre-approval process. Well, you need to find the lender, right? In this case, I'm being biased, right? Here, the credit union will be your lender institution to start working with you from the beginning to the process of purchasing your home, with the exception of getting you the realtors and some other items. But once you get you pre-approved, we're going to be able to work for you. There's some things that you need to understand and be aware of. We have different platforms for you to communicate with us. One, you can visit us through the credit union portal. The other one will be the home loans, which is you see that there online. The other one is calling us on our toll-free number. The 4202 is for the general line, and y si hablan español, that's for Spanish, that will be the 4203. Just we go and gather the documentation. We can go into more detail about that. And then we start preparing your pre-approval letter. This is the key, getting the pre-approval letter to move forward. A pre-approval letter, that means that the credit union will honor that collateral based on that dollar amount and based on the appraisal of the property. Let's decide about the plans that you have. Give you a detail of what we have. But let me go a little bit forward. I didn't discuss too much about this as far as getting pre-approved. The credit union is open for you from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time, Saturdays 9 to 3. And then what we do, what is required is basically in the pre-approval process that your down payment and your closing costs is not part of the pre-approval process. It will be part of the approval process, but you cannot include that on your loan. So for that, I do apologize. Let me go back now. Okay, decide what we have. So the credit union only specializes in two types of loans, and that will be talking about the terms. There's two different terms as well. That's a 15-year term and a 30-year term. But what we have on a conventional loan is only specializes in what is called a rate, or what is called conventional loan is considered a fixed rate, or basically a rate structure loan. That means that the 30-year term will be for that rate, right, on the fixed rate. The adjustable rate, we have three plans. It's a 5-year, a 7-year, and a 10-year option. Now we'll discuss that into more of a detailed process, but I'll go over the outline that we have. Normally, you're required to bring money to the table. We can go as low as 3%. Jumbo loans, what the credit union considers and what the market dictates is that dollar amount, $806,500 plus. We also specialize in second homes, vacation homes, investment properties, and a first-time home buyer. So let's go back to the fixed rate and the adjustable rate. If you're a first-time home buyer, you may have two options as a first-time home buyer. You can go with a fixed rate, and we do have a fixed rate plan, and eventually Sarah will show you those rates along the way. And then we have the adjustable rate. One of the things that I don't recommend on the adjustable rate, if you're planning to stay on a long term on that property. If you're planning to sell the house within 4 years, in this case within 6 years or 9 years, then that will be the plan for you. But if you're planning to stay in that property for a long period of time, I am recommending to stay with a fixed rate. Now, granted, the credit union owns the collateral. We can do rate terms for you to fix that as well. And what we can do a rate modification, and we can discuss that later on this process of the application and the loan itself. As far as the first-time home buyers, we do have rate structures, especially for the first-time home buyers. There's no processing fee, so we waive the 475. But this only applies to the first-time home buyer. You have not purchased a property within the past 3 years. Here we go for the first-time home buyer. No ownership for the past 3 years, 501 arm, low closing costs, and in-house servicing. Again, we want to emphasize that the credit union specializes in servicing all their accounts, right? And that means that anything that you have to do, you have a question concerning your loan, you will be calling the credit union to assist you with that. You're not going to be calling any other servicing company, only the credit union. And that's one of the benefits as you being a member, is that we are here to serve you as a home buyer, and especially as a member.
Alrighty, Ricardo. Well, you can take a little quick breather, get a sip of water, and I'm
Let me get some
gonna
water.
our attendees how to navigate through our little home loans portal here and how to get there. I'm going to take over sharing for now. Let's see, are we looking at the credit union website?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So from here, and how I got here, I'm on the home loans page, but how I got here is under borrowing. You go to home loans, and a few of the different resources that Ricardo mentioned earlier are on here that you can check out. We have a loan calculator, the Members on the Move program. It gives you some more information on that and how to register. There's an awesome checklist to be prepared for whenever you're ready to take advantage of a mortgage. A lot of different resources and information to check out. But for today's demonstration, we're going to hit the red apply button. Apply now. So now it takes us to the homeloans.org website. And here is where you're going to be applying if you want to apply for a mortgage. But right now we're just going to check out the rates and different loan options that we have. There's also different calculators, some more information on like first time home buying, stuff like that, refinancing, insurance. But today we're just going to play with the little check rates calculator thing here. And let's see, a cost of a home. I'm going to do 300,000. Oh, goodness. Okay, maybe not. It's messed up. Let me restart this here. It's trying to do 300,000, but I think I messed up the program. But Ricardo, on average, at least in your area, I know you have do you have the local DFW market? On average, what is the price of a home that you're usually working with?
You just hit it right on the market, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth, depending where you're commuting. The suburbs, especially north of Dallas and Fort Worth, you're looking at 350,000 and above, and then you're looking over $600,000-$700,000 property. Now, if you go outside what we call the metroplex, then you're going to be able to find a $250,000 property or a $300,000 property. But as far as within this community itself, what the market is dictating is about 350,000.
Okay, so I put 350,000 for the cost of the new home, and then a down payment is 35,000. Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
Okay, and then for now, should I keep the closing costs as 0, or should I throw in some money there?
No, go ahead and keep it 0. The reason being is because we don't include the closing costs, but once you do the calculation, the system will tell you basically what's going to be when you come up with a platform. So always keep it at 0.
Okay, perfect. And then we'll say I have excellent credit
Absolutely.
and
Always use excellent credit. Let the underwriter determine your pre-approval.
yes, especially here. So the next question says, do you currently have a home equity loan or line of credit? We're going to say no because I don't. And then the property is in the state of Texas, and in the county, it's going to be, we'll do from here since we're reporting live from Tarrant County, and it's going to be a site build. Let's see, more questions popped up. Says the property located within any of the following. It's not in a condo or a co-op or a planned unit development, so I'm going to press the first option. And I don't think that the property is going to be attached to another home. It's going to
That's
be,
normally for duplex or
oh, okay,
condos and things like that. Correct.
okay.
You're doing
And
good, Sarah, man. You're picking it up.
yeah, it's going to be a primary residence and just one unit. So I'm going to click hit rates or find rates. It's going to think a little bit and then provide us with a couple of different options we can compare. So since I'm a first-time home buyer, I am going to compare these options. So a 30-year fixed or 5/1 ARM. And then what about these points? I see it says no discount points, and there's some that just have no points mentioned at all.
That's very simple. The only time I recommend buying points if you want to reduce the rate. The way that the credit union structures is 1 point equals 1% of the dollar amount. So let's say that you're buying, and I'm going to make it simple, it's 100,000, right? So if you're going to buy, if you have it at 6%, you buy 1 point, it's 100,000, it's going to cost you $1,000, and it's only going to reduce 1/4. So that means you have to buy 4, right? So you have to spend $4,000 to drop it from 6 to 5. Does that make sense? So buying a point. So I really don't recommend buying points unless you want to, or if you want to have a less of an interest rate. But you're going to be buying, and it may take a little bit longer to recuperate those points that you're going to put into the property itself.
Okay. That makes sense. And so here you can actually narrow the results by rates as well, or by monthly payment. I didn't know that before actually. That's pretty cool. Or even by your closing costs or different types. But I think I grabbed a few so that way it could take us to compare the options. So that's pretty neat. And then it even kind of gives you a little bit of a breakdown of the payments, which you'll be paying each month, the principal, taxes, and insurance. And this is all like a big guesstimate, like estimated numbers, right? Just to kind of give you an idea.
And that is correct. So basically, and the mortgage loan officer is able to go through you on the process. Does that mean, Sarah, that let's say you're picking to buy a purchase property today, does that mean that you have to stick to the first time home buyer 30-year term? No, you can decide to go to a first time home buyer 5/1 ARM, right? Us as the mortgage loan officer will guide you what is the best, because we can give you those options and we can change them along the way. That's one of the benefits that you will have with as a member of the credit union, that we will work with you what's the best plan for you to purchase.
Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, you can compare those rates. When I go back to check out the page a little bit, what else we have here. So there's a rate lock, some more calculators, even a rate tracker, and different loan options that you can see different examples. And it kind of explains the disadvantages and the advantages of each term. And then you can always apply on this website as well. So just a quick overview on that. I'm going to stop sharing and I'll let Ricardo share his screen and take over, bring us back to the presentation.
Let me see if I can resume my sharing here. Let me know.
Perfect.
And Ricardo, once you're ready, we do have some questions in the queue for you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right.
Great timing. Someone asked, do you have any thoughts on rates and if they'll be lower by the end of the year?
Wow. If I was there, I probably will be investing in a lot of property. That's the sad thing. It's very hard to determine, but I can say one thing about the credit union. The credit union meets every week to see what the market is dictating, and they get some examples and they try to give the best rate to the loan officers to provide that to the members. So no, we don't know if, just to give you an example, the rates that we have now have not changed since March 17th. Okay. And that's one of the benefits, that the credit union knows that that's what the market is dictating, and they try to provide you with the best rate. There were some other options when the market was not as well, it was competitive or monotone in so many ways. We were changing rates like every other week or so. But right now, we've been keeping since March 17 the same rates.
Wow. Wow, we keep the questions coming, guys. We got a lot that are being fired off. Someone else asked, how long is the pre-approval letter good for? Is there a fee to extend it for a longer term?
Okay, there's two things. Once you apply, I do recommend to complete the application process and don't leave it an incomplete, because once you have consented, the credit union to pull the credit report is valid for 120 days. Now, the pre-approval is valid from once you get pre-approved, basically from the application process to where you have is 90 days to close. Let's say you're not able to buy a house within those 90 days, then we'll ask you if you want to continue your search, and then we have to do another hard hit. But it's normally 90 days to close, and it gives you your credit report is valid for 120 days.
Another question is, how much does a point cost on an ARM?
How much of what? Excuse me?
Does a point cost on an ARM?
Okay, the same thing. Any point is going to cost 1% of the loan amount. Okay, so if the loan amount is 100,000, 1% is $1,000, and it only reduces 1/4%. So you have to buy 4 points to reduce it to a full point, to a full percent.
Awesome. And then this, I guess you kind of touched on this. Someone else asked, how long is the pre-approval good for? If I'm 6 to 9 months out, will it expire before I buy? But you kind of answered that one.
Yes, it is. The credit is 120 days, and the pre-approval is 90 days, about 3 months.
So what would you recommend somebody in that position do? Do they kind of like wait to do their pre-approval, or
I'm going to pick on you, Sarah. You said, well, I'm not ready yet, right? But let's say that you decided in September that you're ready to go. You have put some money aside because you have a down payment. So what we recommend for you, Sarah, in that case, let's say in September that you're ready to move forward. I'm going to use September as an example. That's when you apply in September, because it's going to, once you get pre-approved, you have 3 months to kind of find a home, right? So when you're getting that close to buying the purchase, what gives you the timelines that how soon do I want to buy the home? Well, at least give us 60 days to get you into the process, because we're still going to be requesting supporting documents and so forth. We still got to request for an appraisal. You might not like that house that you have. You may opt out, what's called an option fee that you will pay. There's a lot of things, but at least gives yourself between 60 to 90 days to apply prior to purchasing the property.
Okay. Alrighty, thank you. I think
Welcome.
that's all the questions we have for right now, but keep them coming. We'll do another Q&A session towards the end of the presentation. So Ricardo, back to
I
you.
thought you were going to give me some more time to breathe, man.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let's see, you go to the next slide. It's not moving. Oh, there you go. So where are we now? Finding your home, right? So let's say, and I'm going to go back to Sarah again. Let's say Sarah got approved for $300,000 loan. Oh, went too far. Just clicking too much. Let me go back. There we go. So Sarah got approved for a home for $300,000, right? That's your price range. That's what you're looking for, Sarah, right? So what you're going to be looking for is that when you partner with the realtor, and I hope you're going to be able to use members on the move, they're going to sit down with you and try to find that home that is for you. You know, do you want a 2-story? You want a 1-story? Here's the concept: is that the credit union has committed to you for $350,000 to honor that collateral based on one thing, on the appraised value of the property. Okay, so that means if the value comes at 350, we are moving forward and we're going to partner with you to get that home. Now the thing is for you to find out is, we as the finance company going to help you with that. But you need to take in consideration, how far are you going to be from work? How close you want to be to work? Do you want to be in an area where is a new development, right? Are you looking for some amenities to come with that property? Are you, do you have kids, or are you planning to have kids and you're looking for the school district? You know, the proximity, the distance, do you do a lot of shopping? I don't know. Do you, Sarah?
Yeah, right now I gotta be by some shops where I can go shopping on the weekend, go get some of my groceries. I don't want to have to drive far. So
Okay,
definitely.
so that is something that you may consider when you're
Hmm.
doing that. So that gives you an idea where you need to be. So you have the right amount of money. Now, one of the things that I like to throw, and this is very important, don't apply for 300,000. Apply for the maximum, 350, and you get pre-approved for 350, but you find a home for 240, excuse me, for 340 or 300,000, we don't have to send that loan back to the underwriting to get pre-approved. But assuming that you apply for a loan for 300,000, Sarah, and then, oh my, I found a house, the house that I really love, and that's the one that I want, but it's 340. We have to send it back to underwriting to give the okay, we can move with that loan. Okay, so try to apply for the maximum loan. So that's a kind of a key factor that us, the loan officers, work with you to say, okay, this is the maximum we can do for you. Feel comfortable with that amount because you know that you are ready to set and ready to go. Okay.
I actually learned that from buying my car because I had to go back and ask for more money. So
More money.
now I learned my lesson.
I hear you. So what do we got here? What is the close to your home, right? So what do we have from here? You mentioned, we talked about the rates briefly, right? The credit union, because we haven't changed the rates, but one of the things that you need to understand about the credit union is member driven, right? So what's best for you as the member? So once we have a purchase contract, we can talk to you. Do you want me to lock that rate at no cost and it's valid for 60 days? Okay, we will lock that rate. Let's say you submit a contract today, and the rate that I have now here for today at a first-time home buyer is 6.5. I will lock that rate for 6.5 for the next 60 days. That means you're going to be able to close for that rate. What we're doing is protecting you as a member, that if the rates change along the way, you're protected. So that's what one of the things is. Once we have a contract, we're going to be able to move that, right? That means that you have accepted. That's one of the things that we also discuss with you is make sure you get the house inspected, right? We don't recommend it, but it's highly recommended, but we don't need it. And that will give you an idea, oh, this is not the right house for me. I can walk away. And you only end up losing the option fee, about $200, $300, so forth. So that's one of the things about you have that on the purchasing power that you have. You know, getting the inspections, the insurance information. You need, once you have that contract, make a habit to start shopping for your insurance. One of the things that we can tell you about here is that the property that you're going to purchase, the insurance and taxes will always change. But the principal and interest that you're going to pay for the remaining of those 30 years or 15-year term, that will not change in you. The only two things that's going to change is the escrow, and that will be your taxes and insurance. Let's say that you feel that that house is not value, Sarah, for you at 350,000. Let's say it's 320. You know, talk to the realtors. Hey, I want to put an offer for 320. Maybe they will accept it because in this case it will be a buyer's market, right? And then just review the final conditions on that contract, because once you sign it, it's a binding contract. and you're moving forward. But the thing is that the credit union has already committed to purchase that property with you for that dollar amount. Here we go. That we discuss what are the benefits, right? We discuss as far as ask them about the rates that they asked earlier. Again, our management team is well diverse, and they meet on a weekly basis to find out what is the market, what other credit unions are doing, what is the market dictating. So they give you that competitive rate, right? And that's the thing. Did I lose you, or did I lost anybody? Raise your hand.
No,
Feel like I got
you're
disconnected.
still here.
Oh, okay. Felt like I was disconnected. So we provide competitive rates in that perspective way. It's 100% house lending, right? So that means that the credit union is gonna do that for you. We specialize in the loan origination. We're responsible for that. We do the underwriting. That means we know that once that house has been underwritten, we're gonna help you with that. We do all the processing. We do the funding directly. We do the servicing. So that means we have partnered up with you to purchase that property, right? We have 15, we probably have about 6-7 years minimum experience in the mortgage here in the credit union. So you have very capable of loan officers that are going to be able to assist you with this, okay? What we have is that, let's say you buy the house, every member at the end of the year, what money that we had put into this, we get a dividend. So when I refinance my house through the credit union, I got a dividend by just refinancing through us. As I stated at the beginning, and I just gonna stress this enough, we will service your loan through the whole process, right? And one of the benefits about that we have is because we service your loans, we can do a rate modification. And let me discuss that, how important it is as far as rate modification and rate recast options. The rate modification, forget about buying the points. Think about it. Let's say that the rate, and I'm going to be using the rate that we have now, 6.5. And let's say that 3 years from now, the management decided to drop the rate from 6.5 to 5.5. Guess what? Because your loan is with a credit union, you can do an internal modification and you will only pay 1% of the loan amount, and it will reduce it from 6.5 to 5.5. You don't get penalized. So let's say you already have paid 5 years into the loan, you still have 25 years to go, and they will restructure your rate. That's one of the things that the members, that's member driven. That's what the credit union is doing for you. Let's do the other way. It's called the recast. The recast is basically, the way that it works is that you have a loan for $300,000, you win the lottery for one way or another, and you decided to pay half of that loan. So, and the rate is 6.5. That means that the principal and interest will be adjusted to the loan amount that you have, and we can do that for you. If you decide you pay your loan because you won the lottery tomorrow in a way, and you decided to pay it off, we don't penalize you. The credit union is working for you because we want to build that partnership with you. Okay. My screen is not moving fast enough. I wonder why. Okay.
All right, so this is our third and final polling question. Just a reminder, this is fully data pulse of the room. We won't save these answers or chastise you. And if you're tuning in on a mobile device, you may need to swipe left or right to see the questions and the answer. But we want to know, now that I know more about the mortgage process, I feel A, ready to start my pre-approval now, B, somewhat ready, C, not sure. I feel like I could use some extra help with my finances first. You know what, Sarah, since we've been picking on you all webinar, what would you answer now? Since Ricardo has been bestowing so much knowledge on us, what would you say?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I'm definitely in the C category. I need help with my bank account, but if I had the money, I would be A, ready for my pre-approval and to meet with Ricardo, because I need a house.
Okay, awesome. What are our attendees saying, Sarah?
Looks like 25% said B, somewhat ready, and then 75% are in my category of not sure. They feel like they could use a little extra help with their finances first, which it's okay. We understand. We get it, guys.
All right, Ricardo, we're going to pass it back to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're talking about those individuals that are not ready yet, right? Am I prepared? This is what we're looking for you because we partner with you, right? What to do before you do your purchase? Create a down payment savings plan, right? Because the credit union specializes in conventional loans. That means you need to bring money to the table. 3%, 5%, you do more than 20%, you don't have to worry about mortgage insurance. Example, you get in a $100,000 loan, you do a 5%. That means that your loan amount will be 95,000. You bring it in 5,000 plus the closing costs, right? Review your credit. I believe we have a group here, the financial wellness can help you with that, but I believe that you have access, don't quote me on that, where you can get a free credit report every year and see where you stand in that, right? Create a realistic budget. This is the realistic budget that we try to tell members to understand. Just because the principal and interest payment is not going to change for 30 years, you also need to take in consideration that your taxes and insurance will change within 30 years. So let's say you're not ready. Let's say that your FICO score is a little bit of a challenge, and the credit union says, well, you got to bring 20% down because there's no mortgage insurance that's going to be able to cover you. Mortgage insurance, anyone that has a FICO score less than 620, the majority of the time is not going to be able to cover you. The credit union will be able to help you with a loan, but it's going to require for you to bring at least 20% down payment. So on $100,000, you got to bring $20,000 plus closing costs, right? But what? We have the financial wellness. There's the information. I'll go ahead. I think Susan and Sarah are going to be able to provide you with a copy of that. But get a hold of them first and say, hey, this is where I am. My intent is to buy a property. This is where I want to be 1 year from now, 2 years from now. Can you help me out? And they're here to help you. And we're here to help you as well. I believe we're going to be providing you with additional resources, the application checklist, the 4 reasons. I think we have a handout that we're going to be mailing out either through the email process or however you request it. The benefits, the mortgage rates, we discussed briefly what I have. You can always log into the Home Loans AA, and then we'll provide you with a copy of the presentation and some other resources along the way. How to get started. One of the things is now in age, it's so simple to apply and get the application process. So one of the things that you need to understand is that you go to our platform, in this case, our portal, and that will be Home Loans, AA. Or if you feel more comfortable going through the platform, in this case, to the AA credit union, you can always look for borrowing, click on borrowing, buy a home, and apply now. That will be the process. We did mention we do have offices that are going to be able to help you. Let me see. I lost my notes here. Just a second. We do have basically individuals that are going to be able to help you with this. As we said, Monday through Friday, we have the majority of the loan officers will be here at the flagship, which is the headquarters. We have 2 individuals working from New York, which is LaGuardia. We have 1 individual working in Miami, which is Lagoon. We have 3 individuals working in the 3 offices that we have in Oklahoma, and then we have 1 individual working in Illinois, right? And the rest will be here. So we're going to be able to help you. So let's say you call us and you feel more comfortable dealing with somebody in New York or in Miami or in Oklahoma, we can always transfer that. We can give them that advice, or you can, as far as those individuals, we can set up an appointment and you can go and meet with them. But it's better to give us a call and then you can schedule to go visit those branches that I just described. Here in Dallas, the flagship branch, you always going to have somebody to come in and meet with you from 7:30 in the morning till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, with the exception of the federal holidays. Tomorrow it is a federal holiday, but the office will be open. Saturdays 9 to 1 p.m. as well. So we'll be here to assist. So you can always walk in on those days here at the flagship. So you can always meet with us. I'm one of the mortgage loan officers. There's other 5 Spanish-speaking loan officers going to be able to assist you. And we just, give us a call just if you have any questions, concerns, or just to pick our brains in most cases and see where you are at this point. back to you.
Thank you, Ricardo. I will take it from here. So for anybody on the call, in order to take advantage of having a mortgage loan, you have to have at least a basic membership with the credit union. So if you're not already, you can easily sign up today by scanning that QR code. And that way you get to know all the benefits of being a credit union member. So whenever you get to your application towards the end, you can put in promo code BD4412 and we'll credit that new member deposit of $6. So you have nothing to lose and nothing to invest either. Plus, once you're a member, you're always a member. So that means if you decide to take another job opportunity outside the air transportation industry, you can still retain those credit union benefits and your mortgage, of course. And also, you can share the benefits of membership with your family members, permanent household members, or even your coworkers if they're eligible. And you also get $25 when you refer them, and so do they, up to $250. So definitely a good deal there. And Ricardo, do you want to send me to the next slide, please?
There we
Real
go.
quick. Thank you. And real quickly, I will just cover some of our quarterly offers that we have right now to the end of the month, since we're wrapping up this quarter. So right now for mortgages, you can earn up to $750 cash back when you take out a new mortgage paired with a Visa Signature cashback credit card, or you can earn up to 75,000 connection points whenever you take out a new mortgage paired with a Visa Rewards credit card. Also, right now, when you open a Dream Plan Share Certificate, we'll match that initial deposit of $25. Plus, if you're an Envoy Air or American Airlines employee, you can enter to win a drawing of $1,000 on your company internet page. I think so far we've had at least two winners from each company, so you could be the last and final one for this month. And next thing I'll touch on is our share certificates. Right now, our rates are as high as 4.25% annual percentage yields. Just a few offers that we have towards the end of the month. Check out our offers page next month for different offers and new exciting offers for the summer. So we can take it away to our last closing Q&A, Ricardo. We have a few questions for you, and Joshua asked a really good question I liked in the chat here. He says, does the credit union work with first-time homebuyer down payment assistance programs from states or local governments?
Yes, but it's not directly with them. That means, let's say that you're buying in Dallas County, and within that zip code, they're to move into that area. You as a disclosing that information, and because you're moving to that zip code and you're buying that house, the community decides to give you some money for the closing costs. The only way that the credit union will accept it is that they will pay directly to the title company, and it will be adjusted on the closing disclosure. But to give it to the credit union than us for a closing cost, no. They're the ones that are going to give it directly to you, and they will be credited through the closing disclosure itself, through the title company. So it's not us directly, but to you directly through them. And they will be reducing part of that, yes.
Awesome. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you. And if you know on the top of your head, what's an average price of closing costs? At least that you see.
Right, and I use nationwide here, right? Because we're talking about the credit union closing costs. We're looking about $1,800 closing costs. We're talking about the credit report, credit pool. If you're a first-time home buyer, we will remove that $475. You need to take in consideration the appraisal is between $500, $700, depending on the value of the property. So overall, you're looking at about $1,800 closing costs for the credit union. We don't have origination fees, but we do have closing costs.
Good to know. Thank you. Thank you. And then a few more questions here. Someone says, can you assist me with a loan in the Virgin Islands? And do you have an office with a mortgage loan officer near me?
Oh, so sad. No, we only specialize in the 50 states. But I would like to buy a house there.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we need a loan officer over there, I will Can change my career
Volunteer.
a little bit. Yeah, I'll volunteer to go over
I'll
there.
volunteer to go there as well. So that
Yeah.
would be, they can go find me up there, right?
Yes.
No.
And then last question on the doc for you is, does the credit union offer FHA or VA loans? And what is the least amount of money I need to put down on a mortgage? Good
The,
questions.
the credit union only specializes in one product, and that will be conventional loan. So I won't be able to discuss anything to do with a VA, FHA, or any other type of loan that is not a conventional loan. Normally requires a minimum of 3%, but that's something that we need to discuss with the loan officer. And the reason being is if you're buying a condominium, it requires 5% and so forth. But that will be a per case that may require. So if to give you a general question, minimum 3%.
Okay, there you go. Last question for you. Do you finance raw land to build a home? Or I guess, can you?
The credit union only specializes in dwelling properties, so we don't specialize in raw land. Sorry.
Sorry. Alrighty. And I have one personal question for you, coming from me. I don't know if I would out myself, but how do you feel about borrowing for your 401k or your retirement to get a house? Or
I do. I kind of like that question, and thank you for asking. I think I did not address that at the beginning, but I think you need to check with your financial advisor so you don't get penalized that you're going to be using that money for from your 401 to use that as a down payment. Yes, we do accept it. It has to be transferred to either a savings or checking account because we need that as liquid assets. But I think the best thing is to talk to your financial advisor if there's any penalty if you're moving that money from the 401k. That's something that you need to check with your custodian, but we do accept it, yes.
okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. Since there's not any other questions here. Okay, last question. We're getting like trivia over here. How big of a property will the credit union lend for? They want to get a house in Montana that has 60 acres and it's 2.5 million. Would
Okay,
that be a
that's
jumbo loan? Or that's a go find somewhere else?
no, that's a challenge question, but I'll try to answer the best possible way. Property, the dwelling, okay, has to be more expensive than the land in order for the credit union to consider. That's one point, right? The other thing is that the property has to be within 10 acres. So that means that the credit union will secure the house with 10 acres, and the other thing has to be a second deed on the remaining 50 acres land. Okay, but we are going to be able to secure the 10 acres plus the house, the dwelling itself. And if the loan is over 806, yes, it will be a super jumbo.
Good to know. Good to know. So I'll close us out in our final announcements. If I see any other good questions in the chat, I'll throw them to you towards the end.
Awesome.
But thanks to everyone that joined us today. If we didn't get to your question or if you have something more personal you'd like to discuss, we'd love to connect you with a loan officer or somebody in Ricardo's department. Just let us know on the post-webinar survey that you should be receiving at 2 p.m. That you'd like a credit union representative to reach out, and we'll follow up early next week. Also, don't forget to check out our event schedule on our website at aacreditunion.org/events for details on next month's webinars and next month's events. We have coming up, we just finished 2 Teens and Money workshops this past week. And it looks like next month we have a car sale in Fort Lauderdale. So if you're in the area, check that out. But be sure to stay connected with us on social media. Follow us on Instagram, X, and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel where we have previously recorded webinars just like this one, which this one should be uploaded sometime next week. On behalf of Ricardo, Sutton, myself, and the entire credit union, we truly appreciate you guys tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And Ricardo, one final question, seriously this time. What about airplane hangar homes? Do we do those?
That depends, right? It has to be a dwelling in order to be considered to have a what is called a barn mobilium in a way. But the best way to do is once we have it, review it, we can discuss with the management team, and then if we decided to finance that property, yeah, we want to go forward with that. Hey, we finance airplanes, might as well finance a home
Right.
to put your airplane in your home at the same time, right? So yes.
Exactly.
So, but it's a per case basis in most cases.
Exactly. But thank you, everyone. Remember, if you didn't get to your question, you can submit it in that survey that you should be receiving in about 3 minutes. But thanks for everyone joining us. Ricardo, you got the last word, so take it away.
No, thank you for giving me the opportunity to step in with you, and I didn't mean to pick too much on you, Sarah, but
Oh,
you
no
were just the
problem.
good
Yeah.
target. You were the good target. But on behalf of the mortgage application team here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, everyone out there in Florida, Oklahoma, and New York, and Illinois, would like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to discuss with you and what the credit union can do for you as buying your home. So thank you very much.
And thanks for stepping in today, Ricardo. We hope to see more of you on our webinars.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the invite.